the bigger picture there is having someone to work with you closely and be comfortable working with that. Because sometimes the client would all just choose the VA that is like the character that they want. Because yeah, every VA could be taught, every VA, every skill set could be taught, but character and the character development is different.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Lynn Padetti here, helping you to achieve time freedom so you have more time for self, family, business, and life. Now in this video, you're going to meet our recruitment manager at Outsourcing Angel, who is responsible for hiring all of our virtual assistants for our clients. Now in this video, you're going to learn how we find those rockstar VAs. So from what interview questions to ask, how to pick them, etc. So do check it out. I'm not going to share all the tips here yet, but do check out the interview as I asked Charyl about all her tips and tricks on how to find the rockstar VA. Hi everybody, and welcome to this episode where we're going to talk about recruitment system. So I have here Charyl, or we call her Char, who has been part of OA for many years now, and I really like her to share with the audience everything she knows about how to find the best virtual assistants out there. So welcome.
Thank you, Miss Lynn. So I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Cheryl. I'm here in Outsourcing Angel for 5 years now, going 6 years. So it has been many years that I've been servicing the OA family, and looking for quality assistance for us. So yes, thank you, Ms. Lynn, for welcoming me here.
Great. So Char started off as a VA, a general VA, doing some marketing work, but she became so good, organized, and added so much value to our company that now she's an integral part of our business, you know, being the recruitment manager and running a team of other recruitment team members to help with that role. So I guess I even want to bring back that time that you started with us, and what does it take to, I guess, because, you know, when people are hiring VAs, they also want to know, like, I want that awesome VA to grow with us. And you've shown that quality and that trait. Can you describe, I guess, what made you go from, I guess, a general VA to now like a manager of our organization?
So everyone, don't be scared to start from the very beginning, because I started as a general VA. I started to service a couple of clients in Outsourcing Angel. So I've tried 4 to 5 different clients and serviced them, doing admin tasks, menial tasks. Then I worked from there, and it just so happens I was very proactive. I did my best, so I was recognized in the company. So I was promoted from general VA, and then went to a project manager, and then promoted again to recruitment manager. So it was a big journey for me. So for a VA to have that journey, it really does create like a responsible start. So you really have to be hardworking. You really have to support your VA as well. So it's not really like a one-man relationship. You have to work with your VA first. You have to really work with the strengths. So you have to go out there and then look for your VA and then work with your VA. And then with regards to like picking a VA, it is not really a one-man or like one pattern with regards to picking the best VA for you. It is a multi-level process for us, especially here in Outsourcing Angel. So, Ms. Lynn, if it's okay with you, I'm going to start with discussing about the process with regards to picking the best VA for here.
Yeah, I really, I'd love for you to show that. And what I love that you point out also is, yes, the VA needs to be more proactive and hardworking, but it does come down to the client being able to nurture and be patient and caring and give that opportunity to a VA, just like they would hiring a local employee. And then of course the VA grabs onto that and really take pride in their work, and that's why it works, right? It's not just like VA just working harder, but if a client just doesn't acknowledge, doesn't recognize, doesn't play on their strength, then the whole relationship just doesn't progress further. So that's a really great point. So go ahead with the process.
I totally agree with that, Miss Lynn, because every VA has their strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes challenges, trials comes along the way, so you really have to work with your VA with that. All right, so for the process of selecting the best VA here in Outsourcing Angel, So the first thing would be getting the requirements from the sales team. So reviewing the requirements and making sure that the VA is capable of doing that. So we have to like have a group meeting huddle and then discuss about the task, a skill set, if that's doable. And if not, then we will go back to the client. Hi client, this is not attainable with one VA. So we suggest this one, this one, this one. So we send out our proposals and stuff. And if that's all good, then we go ahead and start with the recruitment. So,
so before we go to the recruitment, I'd like to know what questions we ask from the client to make sure that we are finding these people. So is it like the software, I guess the main hard skill, and anything else you could share in terms of like the scope of work that you're grabbing from the client?
Well, it's a combination of things, Ms. Lynn, and that I'm very happy with the sales team because they cover that. It's a multi-level process with regards to different types of questions. It involves soft skills, like the character of the VA, the software that they need, the tools. Like, for example, if the client wanted a VA to have skills with Excel or PowerPoint or even Infusionsoft, so they just need to like point it out. And then perhaps in the sense that if the client would want the VA to be available on these hours, so we also include that. So, and then there are other things that the client would also wanted a combination of VA that has this type of skill and this type of skill. So we just need to make sure that the combination of that skills would coherent with one VA. And if not, then that's a time that we say, hey client, it's not possible because you wanted a graphic designer plus somebody that could do like, for example, PPC, digital marketing, and then that's not possible if that's, for example. So that's the limitations of getting.
So it takes because of our experience in marketing, we're able to tell which role someone can do, because we know that someone who's really quite advanced in development might really have crappy design skill because they just can't be both. They're not as creative. Or sometimes a client goes, I want SEO, but really, can they be great at everything? They can't. They have to be, you have to prioritize. So with our marketing experience, we can actually tell with that. And I guess if anyone wants to even help others recruit someone, you know, the biggest thing we learn is stick to your strength. What we know marketing. We don't get into kind of other recruitment, like, because we don't know that well. And with knowing that well, we can then find the right person.
Yes, and if in case, Ms. Lynn, the client really insists for the VA to learn a certain tool, then we compromise and say, okay, this is possible as long as you train the VA, you give them the information that they need, you give them ample time for them to be flexible in terms of the resources. And in 1 or 2 weeks time, then you can actually say that you can let the VA do this task for you with that particular platform. So we do that as well, just to consider the client's needs. Okay.
Yep. So now you've got the scope of work and you start to go off and recruit.
Right. Yep. We have the scope of work. We have the approval of the client's proposal. So what we do is we go out there, we look for resources, we look for our VA pool. So first, we go to our assistant VAs. So we make sure that our assistant VAs are fully covered with the hours that they need. So like, for example, if the VAs only have like 4 hours, then we tap our existing VAs. Hey, we do have like this type of position. Do you want it? Do you have this type of skill? So we go through filtering those existing VAs, the same as we go through filtering the new ones. So if ever there is no available like existing VAs, then we go ahead and post in different platforms like Facebook groups and every platforms that we have. Yeah, so that we do have different platforms that we post our job description. Then if ever the applicants would be applying for that, they would go through, or they would be saved in our database that contains thousands of applicants there. Then from there, then our team, the recruitment team, together with my assistants, will be filtering out thousands of applicants from there. So because a lot of applicants go through there, but they would not be the type of VA that we kind of need. So we need to really thoroughly filter through that, go through every applicant that applied, and make sure that the skill set is there, the character, the personality is there. So if we choose like the right VA, then we go through we book them a call. We book them an interview. Then we do have like this 3-step process that they go through. Initial interview, then we will do the interview with our SME, subject matter experts. Then if they pass that, they would go through exams as well here internally in Outsourcing Angel according to their skill set. Like for example, if the VA is applying for PPC, digital marketing, so we have that internal test for them. Then aside from, of course, they have like personality test, typing test, speed of their internet, computer specs. So that's very important because that's one of those factors that the client would want if the VA has that. Because reliable internet is very important, especially here if you're working an outsourced VA, right? And then if you are booked into an interview and then you have done with the test, then and if you pass with all that, then you will be endorsed to the panel interview with Wendy, with our operation manager here in the Philippines. Then you would go through that grueling second interview, where we take a look at how you would handle yourself with regards to the client and everything, situational questions. Then if you pass all of those, you have passed the background checks and everything, then we will endorse and prepare a profile to the client. So that's the last step. Because the one that is very important that you really need to impress is the client. So we prepare the VAs. So not just really prepare, okay, here's the information of the client and everything. We go through like a process with them as well to help them land that job. So it's not really letting the VA just do their thing, go to the client interview and then land it. But we work on their strengths as well. We do the interview coaching and give them tips.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask you, what do you look for? Obviously, there's so many thousands of applicants, and apart from picking that they have that hard skill, what are some tips that you would say for someone to focus on to make sure that they could find that perfect person?
Well, in terms of finding, because the skill set can be learned, but the bigger picture there is having someone to work with you closely and be okay. Be comfortable working with that. Because sometimes the client would all just choose the VA that is like the character that they want. So they work on getting their personality test and then getting how they handle every situations. Because every VA could be taught. Every skill set could be taught. But character and the character development is different. So I think that's a very big important with regard to selecting your VA, apart from the skill set, of course.
Awesome. Okay, so in the interview, I guess what interview questions do you ask to bring out those qualities that you're looking for, or which part of the interview process that really highlights those characteristics? Because sometimes it's really difficult to tell whether they're they are as good as that they seem to be. Yeah.
Well, on our second interview with Miss Wendy, that's very important because that brings out the questions that we need for the VA to answer, because that brings out the character of the VA. So we ask situational questions, the ones that we have encountered before here in Outsourcing Angel. So it's very concrete examples. Like for example, if the client has this situation, what they're going to do. So if you're going to have those type of questions, then you will be determining if the VA would be fit for that client. If that VA has that headspace, has the experience that, okay, so this is what's happening, this is what I'm going to do, and this is the conclusion. So because of the second interview, we will be able to pick out the good ones from not so good ones. So I think the second interview with Miss Wendy for character focus is very important.
Yeah.
Because the first interview is just for initial getting their speed test and everything, their skill set. But the second interview, that's very essential for picking out the good ones.
Yeah. Okay. So assuming that they got started with the client because they were amazing, but as you know, when it comes to recruiting people, you just really never know until you work with them. What happens when, the VA is not performing well? What options do people have if they, not suiting the VA?
No worries. Don't fret. Come client interview. I always say that to the client. If the partnership with the VA doesn't work, you don't need to worry because we do have this satisfaction guarantee with you. If the VA doesn't work, if like for after 1 month or after a couple of weeks, if you have really worked your best partnering with the VA, getting their strengths and everything, then we will have something what we call as replacement VA for you. It would still go through the same thing, interviewing the VA, the client interview and everything, and perhaps getting to ask the client what changes that he or she needs. What are the things, the skill set that she wants to bring into the VA, and what are the changes that the character might require, what did the VA have? So that type of additional questions and additional changes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so let's just say you might hire a VA, but they're just not working out as well. What would be the offboarding process that you would take to do remotely online when it comes to offboarding a team member?
Yes. So if it doesn't really work out, our VOM department or the happiness client manager does the offboarding. So what we do is we make sure that every VA handles the information of the client discreetly and then forwards it to our team, and making sure that we actually have like this kind of conversation wherein the VA would let the VOM team show that she has logged out, she has logged off all of the security like platforms that the client has, and also handling all of the information, the documents to the next VA if ever, or to the client itself, and making sure that everything is in clean state, and making sure that every resources on the VA's computer is erased or logged off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd like to wrap this up because I don't want this video to go too long, but we can always catch up again for the next episode. But I guess what would be the takeaway or last words you have if someone, might be watching this and want to recruit them for themselves or just want to learn more about recruiting offshore people? So what would be, I guess, the word of advice for when it comes to recruiting someone from places like the Philippines?
No worries. Thank you very much, Ms. Lynn. So my takeaway would be every partnership is you have to really work on together with your VA, because if you're not going to work on, even if the best VA, if you have the best VA, if you're not going to work with their strengths, their weaknesses, then it wouldn't work out. So you have to really be patient with your VA as well. You have to really get the right information that your VA needs. And I think that partnership would work as well.
Yeah, because at our company, I think what we emphasize is the recruitment part is probably not as difficult because there's plenty of good people out there being picked. But I think the other part is just how well you work with them after they're recruited is the main gist of it, right? I guess even one more thing that I want to share for everyone is, I guess, what do we do to help retain these awesome talents?
You have to let the VA grow in the company. So you have to support them, make them feel that they are supported, make them feel that they're loved. At the same time, make them feel that they're not alone. Because being an outsourcing, being a freelancing VA, sometimes you would feel alone, you would feel unsupported because you're just looking at your computer, and sometimes the issues comes there and you don't know what to do. So you have to make sure your VA has that support team as well, just to help them with their journey along the way.
Okay, thank you so much, Cheryl. That was amazing.
Thank you.
If anyone has any questions that you've thought of because of this interview, please let us know. And we'd love to do some more episodes on recruitment and how we do things at OA. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Thank you, Ms. Lynn, and have a great day, everyone.
Well, there you have it. I hope that Charyl has given you some ideas on how to find your perfect VA. But of course, if you want us to just find the VAs for you, then check out Outsourcing Angel, because that's what our business does. We just help you save time by finding the best VA and then helping you work with them effectively. But I'd love to hear in the comments below, have you worked with a VA before? What has your experience been like? What challenges have you faced? Share in the comments below. And of course, if you like more videos like this, there's more videos here that you can watch. And I hope to see you again next time.